Hey, Coach Colin Castello here with another episode of the Ask Coach C series, and today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about my automatic shooting system. We're going to talk about if you're shooting with two hands, how you can stop that. We're going to talk about the set point, and we're also going to talk about if you're shooting from deep, how you can get more range and more power. So the first question comes from Harun Gill, and he wants to know, hey guys, is automatic shooting a good workout, and is it just tips, or is there actual drills inside as well? And I also got to give a little shout out to Ali Imran over here, who said, I bought it and have no regrets. The system tremendously increased my game, and Coach C is the best shooting coach out there. You will get results literally the first 5 minutes. Thank you, Ali. That means a ton to me to hear. Now, that's a great question. I think a lot of people don't really fully understand what my automatic shooting system is. So basically, it's kind of a mechanical breakdown where you can kind of pick and choose different mechanics to plug into your own game. It's a really easy, simple system to use, and it's probably one of the fastest ways to increase your shooting percentage. And a lot of people, wonder if there's drills that come with it, and I've actually included my 10-minute shooting trainer. So that's a quick 10-minute workout. You can press play on your phone, work out along with it to give you that perfect 10-minute workout. So there are drills that come with it. There's also a bunch of free bonuses, that talk about kind of like shooting confidence and the mental side of shooting, things that'll kill your career, all that sort of good stuff. So really, it's an awesome program. A ton of value gets out of it. So if you want, you can either click this button up here or the link in the description to get your copy of Automatic Shooting. And it's great because if you purchase it, it helps, kind of support me and support the show. That way I can keep bringing as much free content to you guys as I possibly can. So the next question comes from Nawachuku Afoma. I butchered that. I'm really sorry. But the question is, I shoot the ball with two hands. How do I change this? I've been trying to. All right, so I love this question, and it's one that I get a lot, especially with younger players. Because kind of the problem is when you start, kind of shooting a basketball around, generally you're pretty young, second, third, fourth grade, somewhere around there. And the problem is you don't have a whole lot of strength when you first begin, so your shot turns into a two-handed push shot, normally from the chest like this. The issue with that is as you get older, a lot of players don't really develop into that one-hand shooting that we like to see for a lot more consistent results. And so as they get older, they bring the ball up and they're still shooting two hands, but now it's over the head. So probably the fastest way to help that out is number one, to add a tilt to your stance or a turn to your stance. Meaning instead of squaring up to the basket with your feet, you're now going to tilt them slightly off to the side. Generally what this does is it causes the ball to rotate a little bit just naturally because your shoulders are already turning away from the hoop. And that way your shooting or your dominant hand is going to be in line underneath the ball. That's probably the very first thing that you want to do. Then after that, you probably want to work on a lot of stuff like single hand form shooting and getting really comfortable having the ball come off just one hand. Then once you get comfortable with that, you can add the bookend hand back in or the guide hand, and then you'll be good to go from there. So I think one-handed form shooting is going to be great. Two-handed form shooting is going to be great. Making sure that you're not shooting from too far out before you get comfortable with the form is going to help out as well. A lot of kids that go to the three-point line just start kind of checking it up, and it's really hard to work on your mechanics from that far out. So I'd start in close to the hoop, work your way out until you're comfortable with shooting with one hand. All right, so the next question comes from Nasir Mathers, and he wants to know, please make a video on where to set point your shot and get higher arc. All right, so the set point, that's a really great question. And in true one motion shooting, which you'd kind of want, or most of the time you want, there really is no set point. So a lot of people think of the set point as where, you bring the ball up before it goes forward to your shot. Now in a true one motion shot, the ball should never stop, so there's really no set point. But the majority of shooters actually do have a set point, even if it's for just like a minute split second. So even though we kind of count Stephen Curry as having a one motion shot, and we kind of count Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving as having one motion shots, technically they do have a very slight pause in their mechanics, allowing for that set point. Now, your set point's going to kind of change depending on your physical characteristics. How long your forearm is, how long your bicep is, what's comfortable. But there's a few things to think about. As long as it's in line with your dominant eye, it's all right? So for me, I'm right eye dominant, so my set point is just off of my forehead right about here. For me, that's comfortable. For a lot of times older or stronger or taller players, they like a higher set point, something that's above their forehead. Like you'll see Kobe Bryant's set point is kind of up here. It's maybe about 6, 7, 8, 9 inches above his forehead. Whereas younger players, generally ones that aren't as strong, they're gonna like a lower set point, so kind of down by their eye or down by their chin. The two places that you do not want your set point to be are number one, off to the side of your head. like this, or number 2, behind your head. So as if your hands are on top of your head back here. Those are the 2 set points that are gonna really, really mess up your shot. If it's on the side of your head, you're not gonna be in line with the basket, right? Everything's gonna be just off a couple of inches. If it's above your head, it's gonna turn your shot into a definite 2-motion shot where you have a big hitch, and that's gonna kill your jumper because it's gonna kill your arc. It's gonna be a lot flatter, thus you're gonna shoot a lower percentage. So really, set point doesn't really matter. The older you get, probably the higher up it's gonna come. Well, the older and stronger you get, the higher up it's gonna come. Just make sure that it's not off to the side of your head on either side or above your head. If you can do that, it's gonna help out a lot. So the next question comes from Dalton Wahlberg, and they wanna know, hey coach, whenever I'm taking a deep shot, such as a 3, I can't seem to get enough power. I've tried a ball dip and bending my knees, but then it becomes a really inaccurate shot. Please help, thanks. Now, this is a great question because a lot of people ask me this, and generally the ball dip is one of the very first answers that I give. So with trying the ball dip and you still don't have enough range, there's a couple other things you can do. Number 1, you're gonna wanna learn to shoot off of a 2-footed hop where you're popping off your toes. So the key to this is keeping your heels off the ground. Your heels kind of act as a natural spring. So if you plant your heels into the ground on your 2-footed hop, it kind of sucks all that momentum and energy out of your jump, and then it's a lot harder to get it back into the ball. So number 1, add a ball dip, that's great. Number 2, try to stay on your toes, keeping your heels off the ground. Now, what really kind of determines range is the maximization of your upward force. So as you're generating your upward force into your jumper, if you can translate that, you're gonna get more range. A lot of times what I see players make the mistake is when they bring the ball up to their set point, it's too early, meaning they bring it up as they're bending their knees, so when they're jumping, it's already there, and it's hard to kind of maximize that upward force. So instead, what you want to try to do as you bend your knees slightly and stay in your toes, you want to bring the ball up as your legs are straightening and exploding into your jumper. If you can bring the ball up when your legs are straightening, it's going to transfer that momentum through your body into the basketball, into the shot, giving you more form. So just make sure that the ball's not arriving too early at your set point, and it's going to help you out a ton. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castello with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thank you so much for watching the Ask Coach C series. If you're new to Shot Mechanics, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button because we put out 4 to 5 videos every week, and they're going to get you better. We're growing every single day, and people are loving the stuff that I'm putting out. Number 2, you can also click the button up here or the link in the description to get a free copy of my top 3 favorite shooting secrets. These go directly in line with the automatic shooting system as well, so they'll probably increase your shooting percentage right away. So you can pick those 3 up for free. And then don't forget, if you really want to help us out, pick up that automatic shooting system because number 1, it's going to help you out. Number 2, it's going to help us support the channel, and so it's a win-win-win for everybody. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another edition of our NBA Shooting Secrets J.R. Smith edition. Splash on.